So viewers and subscribers, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to another one here on the coach's desk. Big up on yourself. Please remember people, like, share and subscribe to the channel. So I want to discuss this real quick because I've been observing and seeing a lot of people, talking about Bobby Reid. He has served his time. He is done. And I mean, he's no good, especially when he missed some opportunities in the World Cup qualifiers when Theodore Whitmore was in charge of the team. With that said, Bobby Reid has served the nation for quite some time. I believe since 2019 when he made his debut in a Nation League game, right? Nation League game, I think, was it Antigua, Barbuda and Guyana, one of them teams there, or two of those teams. And he actually scored on debut. So Bobby Reid has been serving for quite some time. He's one of the few English players that when they get called up, I can't recall Bobby Reid turning down a call up. I mean, Bobby Reid has to be a quality player because it's the same Bobby Reid who has been playing for years in the Premier League. He has gone like 150 odd games for Fulham. Now he has gone like 5 games for Leicester City. Not getting a lot of games. But I believe that Bobby Reid, age 31, still has a lot to offer to this Jamaica team. And when you talk about that game over there in the Central American region against Nicaragua, hostile environment, Bobby Reid was a standout. Seeing? Very, 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 very good standout. I mean, he's one of those players that you probably say is a must pick. And you need to we can put it into perspective because Bobby Reid in that middle, which is a very weak midfield in my estimation, but with Bobby Reid in that middle, it has some semblance of fight. It has some semblance of workload. It has some semblance of breaking up plays, making good passes. See? So Bobby Reid is an important player to the Jamaica national team, to the Reggae Boyz. Some fans don't believe it. But again, this is my opinion I'm sharing with you. Bobby Reid is very important because look, Bobby Reid has been playing for quite some while. See? And as Bobby Reid come out of the midfield it look bad enough. But with him out, it look worse. You don't see that fight. You don't see that intelligent play, that those runs. And you see, sometimes we as Jamaicans, we look at the football game, and we think that when the player gets involved in the game with the ball at their feet, then they are great players. But when you look on Bobby Reid and those off the ball movements and those trap back and those defensive work, you have to talk about the holistic overall game of the player, not just when he has the ball. And that is what I see sometimes. The Jamaican fan base, they talk about what the player do with the ball when the ball is at their feet and neglect. You know why I say that too? Because a lot of people did not know that off the ball movement is a skill. It has to be a skill. It has to be a skill that was developed. And we can't take it for granted. But back to the Bobby Reid thing, Bobby Reid, he would have given us some impetus in the middle of the park. Because we had nothing in the middle of the park. All along, it's like nobody in the defense could break the lines of the press. It's like everybody going over the top. Everybody going over the top, especially Mason Holgate. I mean, Mason Holgate, welcome to Jamaica, but your first game and a quarter, much to desire. But for me, I'm not going to be judging you in one game. But may I tell you, this Reggae Boy fan base, them not play. Seeing? So you have to step up your game. You have to get acclimatized real quick. You have to get adjusted real quick. And me I want my bridging a reason, Seeing? And the man say, coach, you see the problem with a Kerai Anderson. You see the problem with a Mason Holgate. You see the problem with, well, them two players specifically, the person highlighted. If we're not getting these players to be playing at their club on a regular basis, them are gonna look flat when them come play for Jamaica. And I think that is something that should be implemented by the staff, the technical staff. You have to play regularly. Because, I mean, they do that to other players. But, I mean, yo, it just frustrating, if you ask me. It's just frustrating. Because Kerai Anderson, I believe, is a very good baller, you know. But the fact that he's not getting a lot of minutes under his legs, that is a troubling thing. Because when you would have trust a little young youth to put him in the middle of the park, that is good, you know. Youthful exuberance and all of these things. But that confidence, that movement on the ball, trust in yourself, seeing, it has to happen with games. It's the same like a coach. If a coach not coaching, then he might lose it. And there's a principle of training that if you don't use it, you lose it. So when you're in those situations where a footballer does a practice, a basketballer does a practice, that is good. But how are you going to put it into a competitive situation now? That's why you need practice games. That's why you need international games. That's why if you play at a club, that's why you need club games. So I do believe that some of these players that are coming in need to start push themselves into their first team. The coach said that about Kaim Dixon. He spoke about Kaim Dixon started out late because the paperwork's never sorted out and all of that. So he's not getting a lot of games. So, you know, whatever. But at the same time, yeah, players are in the team that are not starting for their clubs either. So we have to have some balance and we have to have some sort of consistency. Because we listen to press conference. Don't come on our next press conference, come say anything because you have to contradict yourself. Anything different from what you say. Because we have to pay attention. Some people think we're at the back of the class, but we are paying attention to these fine details. You get what I say? Man, them, hey, hold gate. Man, them say you forgot hold the gate out of stadium because you're not ready. That people are saying, I just tell the fan base them what other fan base are saying. Seeing? And I mean, you can't really use one game. That's what they did with Ethan Pinnock. And right now, Ethan Pinnock rock solid. That's what they did with Casey Palmer. Casey Palmer is getting into his rhythm right now. He started out well in the game, but the consistency again, these are things that we want to see. These players, like a Casey Palmer, play week in, week out in the championship or in the club that he's at. So we want to see consistency with these players. Consistent. Is it that the league that they are playing is not as competitive as CONCACAF? Yeah, man, we really have to put it. I mean, the players really highlighted that it was not one of the best performances from the players. So it is something that they have to go back to the drawing board, work hard, and ensure that they are consistent. If we want to get better, we have to be consistent. If we want to get better, we have to be consistent. You get what I say? Seeing? So you can teach the defenders how to defend. You can teach the midfielder how to take care of the midfield, the movement off the ball, breaking the lines and all of these things. But they have to execute it, and that is the problem we're having. Execution. So we don't play, but we get some goals against Nicaragua, but I said in that game it wasn't convincing, but we still got the 3 points. We never too convincing in this game either, but we still get the point to top the group and move on to the quarterfinal. So still congratulations to the Reggae Boyz going into the quarterfinal, but we have a lot of work to do. We are going to face more quality opponent. Seeing? So that are my few cents still enough, folks. Big up on yourself, and thanks for always supporting the thing. Big up on yourself. Until next time.